Welcome back to the studio, and we have with us Kelvin Ngao, who's the Executive Director of Cofex Coffee. Cofex Coffee specializes in coffee roasting, supplies, coffee equipment, and specialty grade coffee in Malaysia and regionally. So Kelvin's going to share with us what the future holds for the coffee industry in Malaysia. Now, coffee, at least to me, and I know thousands of other people, should be way up there on the list of essential items, especially so in the pandemic. We've never needed our coffee more, I think, than during the pandemic, right?
Yeah.
So Kelvin, thanks for joining us at this Tourism Virtual Summit. Why coffee? How did you end up being the coffee baron or the coffee king?
Well, it started when I was studying in Melbourne during my high school and
Coffee City.
uni days. Coffee City, coffee capital, Melbourne. I think that sort of influenced a lot of how I drink my coffee, how I envision like where Malaysia could be, because Melbourne is actually forefront in the coffee industry, coffee market.
Yes.
So Malaysia at those days were very far behind. I remember those days when I ordered a cup of coffee, cappuccino in a hotel, I was given a black coffee and whipped cream. So it wasn't the same standard I was used to in a drinking Melbourne.
Wow, that's different.
Yeah, very different.
Wow.
So I thought, there must be an opportunity here somewhere. So when my parents acquired a company in Australia, invested in the company, so I didn't think much, because I thought, wow, what an interesting acquisition, because during that time my family was in the electrical business. But when 1997 hit, we are smack in the middle of recession, and I was out of a job. And I woke up one day, everything just clicked, and I told my family, I said, I'll start your coffee business in Malaysia. So that was back in 1997. Everything was hard work. I started with a two-man company. I myself doing the sales, demonstrating, training customers, and I have a technician who look after the equipment installation with me, and also after sales service. So we started two-person company.
So you already your family had already bought the company over,
Yes.
so you already had all the hardware.
I had some coffee bean, that's all I had. So we still need to look into coffee machines, and because coffee and equipment goes hand in hand, because there's no point selling coffee beans and you can't brew it. So you need equipment to use coffee bean and turn it into coffee bean into a cup of coffee.
And I think also a coffee bean supplier would know how to get the best out of your coffee beans, right?
It's challenging, because if I were to give anyone just coffee powder without proper guidelines or recipe, you will not get the best out of it.
So now Cofex Coffee is one of Malaysia's leading coffee machine and coffee bean suppliers. So you specialize also in coffee roasting. So where do you get your beans from?
We get our beans from all around the world. So we do direct trade with farmers in Brazil, in Guatemala, in Papua New Guinea, in India.
Sustainability, right?
Sustainably, yes, because we don't want to buy coffee at commodity prices or just regular commodity coffee. So we want to buy premium coffee.
Direct from the farmers.
So we need to engage the farmer to share with us what they're growing better, that they are growing a premium coffee, and we like to support the farmer by buying their coffee at above market prices.
Thank you. Well
to sustain help sustain the farmers.
That's right. I read that you are big on social enterprise as well. So that's
Yes, we do support. We
Yeah.
do support social enterprise in not in big way I would like to do, but in small little ways. Yeah.
But that's partly part of it, is helping people
Yes.
achieve better lives,
Yes.
especially with a cup of good coffee.
Yes. I think you have to start. For me, I have to start my day with a nice cup of coffee. I don't find it as an addiction, but more like more habitual. It's more things that you want to do and you want to kickstart your day better. And
I
it
think you're
perks
in
you
the
up.
right business, How did Cofex Coffee navigate through the pandemic? Did people suddenly start drinking a lot more coffee?
Well, I mean, people already drank coffee when we are in our normal years, normal days without the pandemic. But when the pandemic started, everyone's working from home, and people kind of miss the routine of their daily routine, like going to a cafe in the morning or drinking coffee in the office. Well, you can't do that. because
You
we were
must
in
have been
lockdown.
affected because the people you were supplying to
Yes.
were affected,
Yes.
right?
Yes.
Yeah.
So we are supplying to mainly hotel, cafe, restaurant, and especially
Wow.
hotels are badly impacted because we lost all tourism.
Yep.
We lost all business travelers. We lost all people.
Restaurants closed.
Restaurants closed. Cafe also
Wow.
stayed closed. But you know, there's a silver lining that happened is that many people start to stay at home to become, I think, better chef. They learn how to cook. They
Oh
learn how to bake.
yes, definitely.
They
You can
also
tell from
learn
social media
how to make coffee.
bread, yes.
Yes.
And how to make coffee.
Yes, so
Ah.
they were buying machines, they're buying equipment. So that sort segment
wow.
picked up. So in some countries, manufacturers that I've talked to, they are posting double their turnover for the home machines in last year. So that gave me a lead to that, okay, I need to focus a little bit more towards the consumer market.
Did
So,
you actually change tack, as you said?
Yes.
Yeah.
So we did change tack, I think, last year because when the start of pandemic, it's really challenging, and I was scared, I was lost, and don't know what to do.
Yeah, because
So-
nobody can see the future, and you
Nobody.
don't know how long it's going to last.
Nobody.
Yeah, I understand. Yeah.
But I had an event with Dato' Idris Jala, and he sort of guided us through, like what's going to happen next few months, how to manage crisis, what's happening, how many lockdowns and stuff like that. So it sort of mentally prepared myself, and how to also communicate with my staff and what to expect in the coming months. Calms me down a bit.
But did you look for opportunities?
We did. So there are people talking about how to pivot, how to change business, or how to look in other opportunities. Well, I looked into that. That didn't work out. But then I realized that changing tack, that means doing what we are already doing, but pursuing different direction, different market. I think that sort of worked for me. So we know that hotel industry are not working out. Cafes are barely surviving. Restaurants are closed. But we realized that convenience stores, quick service restaurants, and the consumer
Petrol
market.
stations.
Yes,
Also.
these areas continue to grow, and this is where we change our focus towards. And I think we are now finding some traction, and to also at the same time, as a company, help us look inwards to ourselves and how to do business better, how to service customer better, faster, more efficient. Yeah, I mean, we change as a company,
Well done.
as a person.
Congratulations.
Yes.
You're one of the lucky ones. You know, when we talk about restaurants and hotels closing, everyone talks about the staff, and then they talk about food supplies. Like people are selling lobsters and prawns by the roadside now because restaurants are closed. But only when I was told that I was going to speak to you did I realize that coffee, I never thought about coffee, would also be suffering. You know?
Yes. Although I started my company smack in recession, this is a complete different challenge altogether, because never have I thought that this pandemic will affect supply lines and
Yes.
also the consumer demand lines. So it hits on both ends.
You know, Ken, when you came back and wanted to, or when you wanted to start the coffee business, how did you create a position for Coffex Coffee, knowing that coffee actually has a history in Malaysia? You know, kopitiams, coffee shops, and the very famous local coffee,
Yes.
you know, that
Yes.
not everyone is a fan of,
Yes.
but it's been here for years.
Yes.
So how did you manage with the existence of that?
Well, I grew up with our local coffee, our Hainanese coffee.
Oh, yeah?
And I treat it as a different way of drinking coffee.
Okay.
I still enjoy my local coffee. I still go to kopitiam and have a local kopi or kopi cham. It doesn't stop me from appreciating it.
Do you want to change them? Do you want to win them over? Convert them?
No, because it's part of our history.
Yes.
It's part of our culture. Why change history and culture that's well established in the Malaysian food scene?
So you add on.
I add on.
Yeah.
I add on. I bring the
Okay.
masale coffee into the market. You know.
And make that a local coffee as well.
Make that a different product
Yes.
to be enjoyed. So to love and to enjoy. Yeah.
And I actually have a feeling that I remember a period in time in the city where coffee bars or coffee places just sprung up like mushrooms. you know?
Malaysia.
Yeah.
Happened.
And everyone was drinking coffee. It was a thing
Yes.
to go and have a fresh brewed coffee.
Yes.
And then you have a long list of everything from tall short, cappuccino, latte, and I was like, can I just have a coffee with sugar and milk, please? Just a normal. You couldn't have a normal coffee. You couldn't just order a coffee anymore.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's more so now, especially when the specialty scene came to the market, special coffee came to the market. Now you can order special processed coffee from Ethiopia, from Panama, and Kenya and Colombia. It's no longer just a simple drink. It's elevated itself into something to be appreciated, just like maybe wine or
Actually, you're right. Yeah. So, do you spend a lot of time? Does your company spend a lot of time researching new developments, new trends?
So we are constantly learning new things. We are constantly trying out new things, and it's part and parcel of our daily job. To how to make product better, how to identify a market where our product is suited for, how to customize a product for a particular client that's targeted at certain demographics, certain taste profile. So we do all that, to customize product, and we contract manufacture for quite a number of brands in the country as well.
And I believe that that's really what keeps you ahead, that you are constantly researching and developing, and you have to, right?
It keeps me excited.
Yeah.
It's not a boring business to be in. I really enjoy what I do, and I think I have a whole team that's just share the same state of excitement with me.
So from the two who started, how many are there now?
We have about 55 staff currently.
That's amazing.
Last year was a tough year.
Yeah.
We did not sack anybody. So I maintain my staff. I mean, there are people who left willingly, and but we never sack anybody. So we managed to navigate through this crisis intact.
Well done. And so that probably means that your future is very bright too. We'll see.
Yeah, there are a lot of pipelines coming along, and it's very good pipelines. So we have very good leads moving forward.
So your company motto includes pursuit of quality and excellence in every cup of coffee.
Yes.
And what you've just told us about all your development and research probably contributes to that, right? So do you think that it's important to continue to do this to support growth in the coffee industry? Is there a growth?
Yeah, there is always going to be a growth in the market. I mean, during this time, obviously some restaurant closed, some cafe closed, but then there are more of them opening again, because closing of businesses is part and parcel of entrepreneurship. I mean, if we don't manage our business well, or we don't know how to do a business properly, we deserve to close. We don't deserve to succeed. So it's just part and parcel of the journey of an entrepreneur.
Okay, now let me ask you about competition. Do you have competition?
Of course.
So how do you keep your head above the competition?
So, I mean, many of my competitors, we are not aggressive in way. We do sit down sometimes for a meal. We do sit down for a chat. We call each other. Because at the end of the day, how to build a market, how to build a better market, how to build a bigger business in the market is what we are after. We are not after eliminating a competitor. We are trying to work to create a bigger market environment for everyone. Because if the pie gets bigger, it's just bigger piece for everyone.
And I think it's no longer a niche market now, specialty coffees. I think it's become quite mainstream in the cities especially.
Yes.
People do understand about a coffee, and they know the difference between a latte and a cappuccino, for example.
Yes, they do.
So I think that's probably partly your fault.
It's not my fault. I mean, we started the Malaysian Barista Competition quite a few years now. It's to give barista a voice, because barista has always been very vocal. They want to share their love of coffee with the customers in the cafe. So this competition platform give them a voice, give them a stage for them to showcase what they love. And I hardly do any marketing. They are the ones doing the marketing and shouting out that everyone should be enjoying better coffee. They want to share what they know. They want to share their passion with the audience, with the consumer. So it elevates the standard.
Okay, you're also a part of opening up employment for young people as well, because
Yes.
more coffee places, more
Yes.
baristas, and people
Yes.
are actually going out there and training.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Congratulations. Well, Kelvin, now Coffex Coffee. I think it's time for a coffee. What do you say?
Thanks. Let's go. Let's go
Okay,
get some.
thank you.